In this way, you must understand how laughable it is to say, "Tell me what to do." What advice could I possibly give? No, a far better request is, train my mind to adapt to any circumstance. Try explaining that to my clients, Seneca. Hi, this is Coach MK, and this is the Morning Mantra.
Hi, my name is MK Fleming. I'm a run coach based in Denver, Colorado. But this isn't a podcast about running exactly. Don't tell my clients, but we're never really talking about the running. When you know a craptastic event is coming, it helps to have a mantra to keep you centered and focused as you move through it. You don't have to be an athlete to be #coached and loved by Coach MK. And if you are here, then you are #winning at life.
Today's mantra is, fuck the plan. Fuck the plan. Today I'm going to do a little reading from the Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. You might recognize that name. He wrote the book I love asking my clients to read called Ego is the Enemy. It would be nice if someone could show us exactly what to do in every situation. Indeed, this is what we spend a good portion of our lives doing, preparing for this, studying for that, saving for or anticipating some arbitrary point in the future. But plans, as the boxer Mike Tyson pointed out, last only until you're punched in the face. Stoics do not seek to have the answer for every question or a plan for every contingency. Yet they're also not worried. Why? Because they have confidence that they'll be able to adapt and change with the circumstances. Instead of looking for instruction, they cultivate skills like creativity, independence, self-confidence, ingenuity, and the ability to problem solve. In this way, they are resilient instead of rigid. We can practice the same. Well, you can if you had a good coach. Just saying. It's shaming to live in the should. It's easy to read something like this. And by the way, I think that piece is fantastic. I really appreciate the Daily Stoic. Stoicism is really hard to practice I'll just say it as a woman. It is really hard. There are consequences. There's a very fine line that is acceptable in the workplace, at home, and in interpersonal relationships when it comes to our behavior. If we make mistakes, the consequences and the ability to course correct the consequences are greater and the ability to course correct can be smaller. Accidents and mistakes are not easily or quickly forgiven. In that scenario, especially in high-pressure environments like high school or college, most of us learn that to get by, we have to be perfect. We have to do the right thing in all circumstances, or at the very least, the safe thing. Because the right thing or the safe thing, everything else could be fucking up, and no one intentionally seeks to fuck up ever. It's really hard to change your mindset from, I must do exactly this, I must do the right thing, and embrace a mindset where, hey, you know what? Not all actions have to have such terrible, drastic consequences. Not every decision you make is do or die, high pressure. It bakes over time. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with you. That feeling you have, that pressure is real. It came from somewhere. But the great thing about being an adult, the great thing about being out of college, out of high school, out of a high pressure environment is that we can choose to ignore that pressure. We can make our own plan. We can look at that tightrope that we're expected to walk and we can say, fuck it, no thanks. I'm going to do my own thing. So, the mantra. This week in honor of Gabe, I've been thinking a whole lot about the things that I do that are either performative or that prevent larger, more complicated conversations, the things I do to get by. And I'm looking at those list of things, and I'm thinking I need to cut it down a lot. Like a whole lot. And in a lot of cases, it means I'm going to have to look around and say, you know what? There's the right thing, there's the expected thing, there's the safe thing, but I'm going to have to do my own thing. This is what all the education was for. This is what all the years spent in competitive environments was for. It was so I could be here doing this thing right now that I'm about to do. Wherever you are in your life, you've got a lot going for you, more than you might recognize. In those moments when you would be scared because you don't have a beautifully mapped out best next step, remember, you've got a coach that cares about you. You probably have friends and family and others who care about you too. You probably don't give yourself enough credit because no one has ever given you the credit that you deserve. You've got what you need to figure out any situation. You have survived beautifully and brilliantly up to this point. You're an amazing parent. You troubleshoot, you problem solve like nobody's business. You don't need permission and you don't need a map. You've got everything you need to make your own plan. So in those moments when you aren't sure what to do, when you're paralyzed because you know there's a right answer but you just can't think of it, stand back, repeat the mantra, say, fuck the plan. I got everything I need to figure this out. And then trust yourself to do that. Don't waste a lot of time shaming yourself for worrying. You're awesome.
You are coached, you are loved, and you are winning at life. And you are definitely winning at life if you subscribe to my Nuzzlenut newsletter, follow me on Facebook, or follow me on Instagram. Feel free to do all three. Kristen and Chill is a comedy podcast that gets real about depression, therapy, and daily struggles. Often irreverent and lighthearted, conversations range from minor social anxiety to mental health and everything that happens in between. Kristen and Chill also covers topics such as having friends with depression, weight gain, suicide prevention, adult bullying, and more. So if you're looking for a more lighthearted take on these things, go check out the show. Search Spotify and wherever else you listen to podcasts to hear more than 80 endearing episodes of Kristen and Chill. You can also join the conversation and find Kristen on Twitter at Kristen Carney. Don't forget, if you need a mantra, you can always ask for one at info@coachedandloved.com. Again, that's email info, INFO, at coachedandloved.com.